So welcome guys, welcome to channel Sanjeev070. In this video, we are going to have a special guest in our channel, Lokesh Kumar. So he is my college senior and he is currently having a 3 years experience in IT industry, and he basically works in NLP and some kind of data science stuff, ML, and he is an cloud associate and DevOps engineer also. So he is a better guided one to he can be better in person to guide us in cloud and DevOps field. And so any fresher have already faced many difficulties, and now he is working in industry for past 3 years. So he have a complete ideology and he had a complete analogy for what a fresher difficulty face and how he had been serving in the industry for 3 years. So welcome, bro. Welcome to the channel. It's very keen pleasure to
Yeah,
have you on your channel. So hopefully you are enjoying our videos and watching the channel regularly.
yes. Thanks, Sanjeev. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Okay.
I'm one of your subscriber, man. I'm
Yeah, bro. I
regularly
know
watching.
actually. I see it
Nice.
regularly that you
You're
post
doing
comments
great
also.
stuff. Yes, you're doing great stuffs.
Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Nice.
It's a
Fine.
just a small initiative to encourage the audience for our IT field and enhance the technology that they learn due to their college days and everything. So basically, bro, I just need an overview regarding how you the whole session would be divided into a four parts. The first part would be definitely I want you to your self introduction and how means in which project you are working and all, and how what are difficulties you face while migrating from a college fresher to an IT industry specialist or the DevOps engineer. And second part would be I will have some Q&A session. I have some 4 to 5 questions that is being fetched by the comments from the user. So basically, we are going to just follow the comments from the user, and you just been given the answer if you possible and by your knowledge. And the third round would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
the third part of the session would be I want you to just tell some top certifications like a fresher how could you can migrate to cloud Amazon AWS about and what you're working currently, and about the DevOps field and about the in any other field domain that you know and you have worked. And the fourth part would be the conclusion. And I want you to give the tips for the freshers and how could they migrate, and about the 2020 the pandemic and all people's hiring has been low over this year. So just throw light on some give and as a mentor you just guide them and show some steps over
yeah.
there.
Definitely.
So let's
Sure,
begin, bro.
sure.
So let's begin the session part and the first part. So yeah, bro, can you tell me what as well about the technology currently you're working in the projects?
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. Currently, I'm working as a cloud consultant in a MNC organization. So I have totally 3 years of experience with both development as well as infrastructure handling with deployment tools
Okay,
related to cloud and DevOps.
okay,
Currently, I'm into cloud and DevOps, but
okay,
I started my career with ML and NLP. So those are the best initiative to start from the fresher point.
okay,
Right. So being a fresher, it is not difficult to get a job. First
okay,
thing, it is very easy to get a job if you do some potential stuff. If you regularly used to do some potential stuff or some kind of researchers, some kind of POCs. You have to do some participate in some hackathons. You have to analyze some books, e-books, right? These are the general strategies which I have followed from my while passing out from college.
okay.
Yeah. So it is not that much difficult to get a job as a fresher. Uh, from the fresher, now I am 3 years experience.
But
Right.
bro,
So I have
many
basic.
of them would definitely are as our audience is been the fresher part. Like people are watching my videos from in the especially for in college, like for me like people.
Yes.
So as a senior, as a mentor, how would you guide? How would you? What are the steps that you ask them to follow to just go into data science domain, especially ML, AL,
Yes.
and DL part?
Yes, data science. It's a huge domain. It is not a simple term or a simple concept. It is a
Okay,
huge one. But to get into data science, you just need some more additional steps. Apart from your books, apart from your studies, you just need some more additional methodologies or steps to trigger. Right. First, to initiate with the data science, you have to be strong in Python. So that is the essential one. Python is the essential one for to be a data science data analyst, right? In Python, there are n number of libraries, frameworks, which are more useful for a candidate or a employee or any. We can take any perspective, right? So it could be very helpful. Python is very helpful. First thing. So not only Python, you have to relate Python with another frameworks or another languages too. Even Go language, Ruby, so Node.js, JavaScript. JavaScript provides various libraries while compared to Python, right? So there are n number of frameworks and libraries. So first thing, as a fresher, what you can do is you can just search for just try to learn or understand the concept of how the architecture works. Consider you have Android mobile phone, right? So in that Android mobile, you'll be having n number of apps. What will be doing? We'll be just downloading it from Play Store and directly using it. But you have to ensure how that Android application works in a backend architecture. Right, you
Okay.
have to analyze that architecture. If you are
So
using the G Drive, any Gmail or any Google products, you have to analyze from the scratch how it starts, how the client server response starts, how the request is getting, how the response is coming,
okay.
from which end to where end, right? How it work for each and every end user. So from this perspective, we have to analyze first. Understanding the architecture is a main key concept to enter into any domain.
Okay. So, bro, as you mentioned that architecture, so it's itself is a very vast domain. Like where there are system architect, there are database architecture, there are product-based application architecture, there are text-based architecture, there are Slack-based architecture. So there are domain-based architecture also. So basically, if I want to get, as you said already, that Python is the basic criteria for entering data science domain. If I am little bit flexible with my Python skills and I am little bit ensuring that I know Python a little at least to an intermediate level, like web scraping, like the Django stuff, etc. So likewise, if I move my the skills for carry forwarding the things. So how far the architecture plays an important role in deciding my employment in an organization? Like if I apply for
Yes.
database administration, so the architecture would be definitely encrypted in it itself required. So can you throw little bit sentence on it?
Yeah, sure. You said you are entering for some database administrator position, right?
Yeah.
So consider this thing. Um, yes. If you are a database administrator, you have to deep analyze on the complete analysis on how the database works. First thing, how you have to ensure how the database works, how the security algorithms works with the database with your product. So how will you interact or communicate the database with your application? How it reacts with your request.
Okay.
If I'm developing some microservices, database is essential and the front-end application is essential. The microservice is the intermediate part, right? So with that intermediate, how I will connect both? How I will store my data? What is the performance I'm getting with my data storage? What
Okay.
is the yeah, these are the things I have to make sure before getting into any kind of architecture, not only to database. You said it was application architecture or network architecture, any cloud infrastructure. So every architecture matters. So design, architecture and the development matters.
Okay. Which are cloud technologies are now in peak, bro? Like how to top certifications in cloud architecture that basically now they are been in a peak stage.
Yeah, yeah. Currently, AWS holds the 60% of cloud market,
Okay.
right? So apart from AWS, we have N number of clouds like Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud,
Okay.
and Alibaba Cloud. So we
Okay.
have N number of cloud vendors. So getting certification with these cloud vendors will definitely help you to get a job as a fresher. This is not only for fresher, for experience also definitely it will help. If
Okay.
you are migrating from one job to another job, right? So if you are searching for a new job with a new skill, so definitely these kind of certification will help. So not only the cloud, there are some advanced level of cloud called containerization, orchestration, infrastructure as a platform. Right. In cloud also we have n number of definition and the categories. One is for software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. Each and everything have
The
several
cloud
different.
computing subject, I have read these terms from a professor in 7th semester. Okay, I can better ask you to teach me cloud computing subject, I suppose.
Yeah, sure, definitely we'll do that, man.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Proceed.
Yeah. So not only in the cloud, if you are learning Python or any JavaScript libraries, if you are if you can able to explore the Angular JS or React JS from JavaScript, you have very good future for the front end development. If you are not good at programming, then directly go for this kind of cloud certifications or DevOps tools, right? So these won't require that much of programming experience. And so in DevOps also, some places only for the automation process, you just need a shell script or a Python script. That just the scripting level experience is required.
Okay.
But to get into the cloud or DevOps, you don't need to be a programmer. If you are not a programmer or if you are not interested to be a programmer, just go with this certification. It will definitely help you.
Okay. So, bro, as you already mentioned about AWS, I suppose AWS has three levels of certification, right? Like the associate developer, like some kind of. So, can you
Yes.
level regarding that? Can you please go into detail?
Yes, AWS has not only into AWS compared to the multi-cloud vendors,
Okay.
AWS, GCP, Microsoft Azure.
Yeah.
These three vendors are the top most of the world, top most providers, cloud providers of the world, right? With this, AWS covers 60% of cloud data. 60% of cloud data AWS covers, and the remaining 40% is combined with GCP and Azure.
Okay.
So if your application or your server want to be more secure, or you are developing based on some what to do Windows based application or any Windows product, you can directly opt for Microsoft Azure. It is very useful for Windows application deployment.
Compatibility is increased, I suppose, like the Windows laptop, Windows cloud, etc.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
the Apple cloud and Apple MacBook has been like aligned each.
Yes, in the recent days, past 1 week before, AWS reinvent was launched, right? So that in that reinvent, MacBook has been introduced for the EC2 machines. You can able to launch your virtual server with the MacBook.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
till now, what we are doing, we can able to launch the Linux operating system or Windows operating system. But in future, we can able to launch the Mac operating system also.
Okay.
So they have
But
invented that
bro,
too.
Mac has certain restrictions also, right? Like the people couldn't enter in their environment, and the cloud is also very high payable. So how far it is user friendly, like Apple Cloud, AWS?
Uh, Currently, yes, as you said, currently Mac OS doesn't have that much of supportability for the cloud users, right? Only if you purchase the Mac laptop, you will be getting all the functionalities or all the possibilities with the Mac end OS,
Okay.
right? So, but in future they may take it as to some step to provide the uh, large what to say. Yes, definitely in future, AWS can redefine their architectures based on the Mac operating system. So with the use of Mac operating system, you can develop your application or deploy very fastly, very widely, right? So it
Okay.
is good performance. It is good in performance. So definitely they can adapt it as an architecture. So as you asked, the certification, level of certifications, right? So coming to one cloud vendor, first we'll go with AWS. In AWS, if you are trying to start your career with cloud, the first level is AWS Cloud Practitioner, right? So
Okay.
it covers all the essential and the basics of cloud computing, Not only the AWS, general cloud computing, general infrastructures of cloud, like the categories and the types. As I mentioned, the software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service,
Service.
with some real-time hands-on lab or hands-on activities. So with this knowledge, you can clear the AWS cloud practitioner level. So this is
Okay.
the first level. If you don't have any cloud knowledge, you can directly opt for this certification.
The name is AWS Cloud Practitioner.
AWS Cloud Practitioner. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The second level is AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. This is associate level. For this associate level, you have to be experienced in AWS for up to 1 to 4 years. If you are in the experience with 1 to 4 years, or if you have previous experience while in the college level, you can directly opt for that too. Why? Because you have previous cloud knowledge, so you don't need to take the cloud practitioner certificate before, right? So you can directly opt for this level, AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. This is the second level. It covers four major parts of cloud infrastructure, that is computing, storage, network, and database.
Okay.
Computing in the sense, you can create your own hardware infrastructure with virtual server. You can customize your RAM, you can customize your memory, and then what performance increase, whatever you need, you can able to increase. You can
Customizing
create
is
some load
difficult.
balance. Yes.
Okay.
So with this computing engine or computing framework, you can do all these stuffs. So if you want to store n number of TB range of data or range of data, your laptop hard disk doesn't support that, right?
Yeah.
It has some minimum capacities to store. But in order to take the cloud vendors, it has good performance and good encryption standards. Also, it provides a huge amount of data. For example, one S3 bucket can store up to 256 TB of data. For
Oh,
one user account, yes,
TB.
for one user, for one user account, you can create up to 100 buckets, 100 storage buckets. So calculate in that way. You can store huge amount of data, right? But anyway, you are not going to store that amount of data in cloud, right? So the minimal amount is required. So the storage part is more secured in that. You can
Many
use your
many
own
people
encryption logic.
many people don't fill that 1 TB hard disk, bro, in cloud. They don't have that much data also.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. To clear this level of certification, you need four categories, for understanding of the categories, like computing, storage, networking, and database.
Okay.
You can create your own database engine with AWS or Google's cloud,
Oh,
right? So if you are a Python developer, if you are a web application developer, what you'll be doing? You'll be installing one MySQL or MS SQL in your machine, right? So uh, to avoid that RAM, to avoid that memory of database installation, what we can do, we can achieve with this, to set it up a separate database engine in cloud vendors.
yeah.
We can use that possibility or functionality for the cloud providers, right? So this is the second level certification. It costs up to $150 per candidate. The training can be taken anywhere. Either you can directly reach out to AWS trainer, professionals, or there are n number of training institutions, certified partners, training partners, right? So, or else you can, there are n number of freelance trainers, right? They are all providing with some cost, like it may take up to 10 to 15,000 per candidate. If you are in the batch, it may differs. If you are going to freelancer, the amount may differ. If you are going to institution, the amount may differ, right? So it depends on the instructor. And the second thing is, you have to pay $150. In our money, there is a 11,000 something, 11,000 to 12,000 you have to pay to take up the AWS exam, to register for the certification, right? So once you clear that level, now you are eligible to access any kind of AWS with your organization, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, and in AWS associate level, there are multiple certifications, not only to architect. We can have specific certificate for DevOps, SysOps, right, and DB administrator. And these covers the second level of certification.
Yeah.
Coming to third level of certification, that is a more of architect level or professional level. So currently in India, there are only 4,000 registered professional uh, architects. This, this is a third level
Across the
certificate, right?
AWS platform in India, across the whole nation.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. There are only 4,000.
So
There
how
are
the
only
toughness
4,000.
is been indicated by the trademark itself, like how the
Yes.
flows.
Yes, yes. Why it is so complicated means you have to design that architecture. Cloud infrastructure itself, you have to design that.
Okay.
So that is somewhat complicated when compared to these previous levels,
Okay.
right?
So,
So
accordingly, then, if I do two certification, then price hike, salary hike would be accordingly in organization, right? If I the definitely that would be an increase in the
yes, yes,
position.
yes, yes, definitely. So if you are a fresher, I recommend you to start with AWS Cloud Practitioner or the Certified Solution Architect Associate level. These two certifications are recommendable. But
Okay.
coming to the professional certificate, you definitely need some 4 years to 7 years experience
In cloud domain
with
itself.
no overall IT
Industry.
management or yes, overall IT industry. You definitely need 4 to 7 years of experience with a professional certificate.
Okay. So
Yeah.
after that experience, people would easily crack that and get the certification, that professional.
Getting certification is easy, but the company requests definitely the experience for that level of certification. That level of certification approaches the manager's role, right? So being a fresher, you can't reach out to the manager role, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
sure.
definitely you will be a developer or any cloud engineer with your current organization. So
Yeah.
these two certifications will be useful.
Okay.
If you have good experience with AWS or if you are good experience with IT industry, then you can opt for the third level. That is the professional level.
Okay. Uh, it's very good, bro. Like you have explained each and everything in detail, and to our audience is also very peculiar about the things that they usually watch in this channel, and the content is also very unique. And the kind
Yes,
of a
yes, yes.
person that is being sitting in front of me virtually is also very experienced in all this cloud and DevOps in platform, etc. So I'll just move on to round two of the session part.
Okay.
In this, I
Yeah.
have just have a couple of questions in my previous videos and my comments in my social media handles. People used to ping me here and there. So people basically ask me the questions like how which they say you said already you said that AWS is on the top 60% market share is with, and some people are learning Microsoft Azure and GCP, etc. But bro, like learning AWS is it too complicated for a fresher? Like if I am average in my academics or my BTech, so how far it would be so complicated for me to learn AWS or Microsoft Azure? But I have interest, keen interest, but still there is a persistence level. As you know, the education that is being taught in college is far different from the experience that you face in industry. So that bridges a gap between both of them. So that ridiculous syllabus and the ridiculous curriculum, etc. How it would be a gap for freshers? How would be tough for cracking AWS if I want to crack it?
Yes, definitely it won't be that much difficult. I'm sure on that. Definitely it won't be that much difficult. I already mentioned, right? If you are not a programmer, but if you have, if you want to be some part in IT industry, then you can definitely opt for this cloud or DevOps certification. Why? Because these are all more of tools handling, tools or framework handling. You have the entire n number of AWS. We have up to 200 plus services running currently, right? So you just need the understanding and the working exposure of the specific service itself. You don't need a programming experience. As a fresher, you can definitely recommend to anyone. You can definitely recommend the cloud certifications to anyone. So it is approachable. So it is not that much difficult to anyone.
Okay, bro, my
You
second
can
question
learn.
is like that. Bro, is it cloud computing only dealing with databases, or they have some separate like containerization, tokenization? It's been there, but is it been completely dealing with databases only, or we have some kind of other stuff also in cloud computing, like overall cloud computing?
Yes, in overall cloud computing, first generally what is cloud computing? You're going to deploy your product or application on top of on cloud vendor, right? So without an application, how a cloud will work? It won't work. So to work with the cloud, you definitely need a application or a product. Application or products in the sense you need some front end level of interface or back end interface. You need some networking structure, architecture. So you can customize your own network, own routers, own internet gateway, firewall, security policies, everything you can customize in the cloud. But the cloud only is not the thing. It depends on the other tech stacks,
Okay,
right?
so like tech stack, you mean? Can you elaborate it, bro? Actually, little tech stack you said, like which all tech stack would be included?
Yes, being a fresher, if you have some interest on web development, you can just go and learn to start with HTML, basics of HTML. So basics of HTML definitely will explore you to create a web page or uh, a designing of web application. The page is a part of web application, right? So these are all the stuff to be a web developer. What are all the tech stacks you have to explore? HTML, CSS. CSS is for color scripting
Designing
to
is
customize
CSS.
your designs. Yeah. PHP. PHP is the main thing if you want to be a web developer. Why? Because it directly interacts with the databases or it can able to relate with some microservices, connect with some microservices. So being a web developer, you have to be make sure you have to be more knowledge on these domains or on these tech stacks, right? So there are some advancements on this tech stack. We have JavaScript. JavaScript is the basic. JavaScript libraries we have a number, right? AngularJS, React.js, right?
Yeah.
So if you are developing one cross-platform mobile application or web application, React.js is definitely helpful for that.
Okay.
Cross-platform in the sense you can create your develop your application for your Android application, any Windows-based application or iOS-based product.
Okay.
So if you are a iOS developer, so you have to develop only that application in sorry for that Mac OS, and to deploy your application you have to pay for that,
Swift would
right?
be used, right, for the iOS platform.
Yes, Shift would be used, but you definitely need some Mac operating system to develop that
Okay.
application.
Sure, sure, yeah.
Yes. Also, not only to develop, if you want to deploy that to iOS store, you have to pay some amount of money.
Okay.
So, as an open source consultant, I strongly recommend to learn these technologies to avoid that conflicts. Right. I don't need a MacBook to develop a React.js or iOS application.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need to pay $100 or 200 to only to deploy my application. While Play Store does it for free, right? If I develop one application, I'll just go for some cross check with Play Store. It automatically deploys at free of cost, right? So why
People
I
can
need to
easily
pay?
go with free domain, free cloud servers also. Like many of those are available.
Yes, yes. Yes, free in the sense, at some cases it will be free. So
Okay.
the product also need to earn from you, right? So they may take it as some subscription based standards. So if you are doing with some functionality, it is okay. If you need some more additional functionality, or if you are using for if you are providing an application for 100 users, more than 1,000 users, then they will definitely charge some amount from you.
Like
Why?
Google's
Because
Firebase,
they want,
etc.
yes, yes, same,
Okay.
same.
Okay. Uh, that's so concerned that you have answered the question, bro. Actually, you have explaining each and every question in detail manner, so that every layman can also understand, and up to a most professional IT professional, working professionals can also understand from the answer you have. So, bro, Mike, another question is like people usually migrate domains, like they have experience, they migrate domains where the perk is high, where the salary is high. So, what's the current standard of cloud computing and DevOps? Like, what about the salaries in industry? About the peakness of industry? Can you tell me regarding that?
Yes, the salary structure differs from market to market. We are in India, but compared to the US market, it is 300% high when compared to our salary. As a fresher, if you have some cloud experience or some DevOps experience, you can get a package with a starting of 3 to 4.5 average. 3 lakh per annum to 4.5 lakh per annum as an average package per year,
In
right?
any
So
organization, whether it be a product based, service based.
yes, it may differ. It may differ based on organization. If you are going to start up, they will pay initially. They will pay less amount. If you are going to some product-based MNCs, right? Product-based MNCs in the sense Amazon, Walmart, Facebook, Twitter. These are all product-based organization. So they also came from the startup environment, right? So now they are paying too much of salary to the fresher itself. If you got placed in Google or Amazon in a campus type, definitely you will get more than 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs as a fresher.
Okay,
But everyone won't get placed in a campus drive, right?
there's a
Most of us,
competition there.
yes,
Only
there is
one
a
tenth of a
competition.
percentage qualified from engineers are pop over there. Is over there. There's a couple of competitions also, bro. Like how cloud is related to DevOps, bro. Actually, uh, people basically say that cloud is a vast area. You couldn't contribute enough. You can, you served 10 years there, but still you have a lot to more. And DevOps is something completely different. But the layman understands that DevOps is completely a layman to term. It's DevOps, like development plus operations included is DevOps. We have testing
Yes,
unit
yes,
also in DevOps. We have development tuning also in DevOps. Just the migration is different. Another term is people can't undergrow, people can't accept that DevOps is an upcoming technology. So how cloud is related, how cloud is different from DevOps, bro? Can you tell regarding that?
yes, sure. From my view, DevOps is the first essential thing. After DevOps, only the cloud. Why?
Okay.
Because cloud is the production area, right? DevOps is a culture. It's not a framework or tool. It's a culture. So we are adapting it, adapting the DevOps culture. Why? Because most of the organization in previous years won't have specific DevOps team or specific deployment team. They have only the developer team member or a testing team member. With a good experience, they can build our application.
Yeah.
But most of the client or most of the end users require the high scalability, high availability, performance. To make some automation, definitely DevOps is needed.
Okay.
The last stage of DevOps is the cloud. So in my view, so first let me clear what DevOps is, right? So in DevOps, if you are working as a team, there are 4 to 5 members in a team. They are developing some product application, right? So what they will do, they will commit their code to some central repository like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab. So there are n number of source code management repositories, right?
Yeah.
So first thing we have to commit our code. So the first stage of DevOps is to get the code from the source code, right? So we have to clone or fork the repository committed from the developer. Then we have to build that project. If it is a Spring Boot application or Java Maven application, what we have to do? We have to install the Maven dependencies. First thing, Maven deploy dependencies to build that package, to compile it as jar file or var file.
Okay.
So definitely it could be a Java-based application, right?
Yeah.
Java-based application, Spring Boot. So in the second stage, what we have to do, we have to package that artifact. The build would generate some artifact at jar file or var file. So you have to set up some Tomcat environment or any Java deployment servers in some separate host, right? You have to connect that separate host to your local host, local machine. So that connection is also a part, right?
Okay.
So after compiling that jar file, you have to deploy that into Tomcat server. Then only the end product of the Java application will get from the browser. Right. So this is the actual flow. This is the manual flow. Manual flow too. DevOps is an automation methodology. Right. You have some frameworks like to implement the continuous integration and continuous deployment, simply named as CI/CD. Right.
Yeah.
So with the help of CI/CD, we can create some pipelines. You can write only one page of script up to 15 to 20 lines. With the 15 to 20 lines, you can automate all the previous steps I have mentioned, like getting the code, building the code, packaging it, making test some containerized application, deploying it to the end production server. So
Okay.
you can automate the entire workflow
Yeah.
of the build to deployment. So this is what DevOps is. So the final stage, the production environment holds the cloud vendor, right? So finally, if you have AWS server or GCP machines, you can connect to that host, and you can deploy your product. It automatically moves. You don't need any manual inventions or interventions. So it automatically do some test cases of your code,
Okay.
checks your quality of your code. So everything it covers. So from my view, cloud is after DevOps.
Okay. DevOps is first stage of cloud, and after development, operation, testing, testband, the product is being sent to cloud platform where the server has
Yes,
been deployed using
yes,
AWS.
yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly.
Actually, this is a kind of, we'll have this session. I planned now. We'll have this session in two parts actually. As it's been a very lengthy session. We'll have the session in two parts. So remaining two rounds would be definitely uploaded in coming few days. I'll just share
Okay,
this video link below. We'll just stop here. The two video to the session one, the part one. We'll just have part two as soon as possible. So
yeah,
hope you
sure.
like this video. Share the video maximum with your friends and etc. And really like, if you really like the content that I put, please hit the subscribe button with the bell icon. And we'll just meet in part two. And Lokesh bro has completed a description. Social media handles, LinkedIn profile will be definitely given in the description box so that you could just easily follow him up for the further guidance. And he is also very
Yeah, sure, definitely.
analyst also. I will definitely coming up with part two video where we'll again meet the same expert and we'll have the same continuous routine. So let's meet up on part two. Thanks.
Yeah.